Hello ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's second 10th Doctor Who review is none other than Tooth and Claw. There is something that lurks, something that hides, there is something that howls at the moon at night. There is a wolf, a beast from the forest, a beast from the east. That's just a little rhyme I thought I'd come up with for myself. But right, essentially what Tooth and Claw is about is the Doctor lands in Scotland. And he finds himself in a situation in which, because Rose Tyler is dressed a little bit inappropriately, they describe her as being naked and ask what he's doing out in the middle of the Scottish countryside. He then points out that he calls himself a doctor. I trained under Mr. McCrimmon himself, which is a beautiful reference to Jamie McCrimmon. The Doctor and Rose are escorted to a house in which they soon learn that they are in the presence of Queen Victoria herself, and she is not amused. Yes, so the Doctor and Rose begin to gamble throughout the whole episode about how much the other one has to pay each other just to get Queen Victoria to say those words. And the Doctor, by the end of the episode, owes Rose Tyler 10 quid. But back to the story at present, essentially, Victoria is trying to go to a safe house in Scotland because she has a lot of people who want to assassinate her. However, what she doesn't realise is the safe house that she thinks is safe isn't as safe as it may seem. It turns out that a bunch of rogue monks have taken over the monastery and are all under the control of a man who is like a wolf. A man who transforms into a wolf. It turns out that at one point in time, due to some matter of physics or something, a light hit this man and he came down to Earth. Turns out that he comes from a planet of people who are like werewolves, which, for anyone out there who's a classic Who fan, will most probably guess has something to do with the girl from The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Yes, that's right. There is a planet out there in outer space in the Doctor Who canon in which people on this planet, at the howl of the moon, turn into werewolves. And essentially, this man dropped down to Earth, and ever since then, he has been bitter and vengeful. And he has come to basically attack the Queen. And at one point in the story, Queen Victoria gets bitten, and it's never quite acknowledged until the end of the story that possibly that bite did take effect, and her descendants could become werewolves. They managed to defeat the werewolf at the end of the episode using a diamond and the shape of the telescope to essentially refract light. The refraction is essentially when you get light to hit a window or a surface and it bounces off. And essentially doing this causes the werewolf to go into absolute shock. The Doctor frees him from himself once and for all because of the overexposure of the light begins to take hold. A lot of people die in the house, and Victoria is rightfully angry with the Doctor and Rose for taking it in their stride. She's furious that they find this so amusing, and so she says the words, "I am not amused. Not one bit, sir." He then, at the end of the episode, founds the Torchwood Institute so that any time that the Doctor turns up on Earth, he will be monitored and arrested by them and kept under careful eye. So, Tooth and Claw. What did I think of this story? I love the setting. I love the idea of them bringing in this idea of Torchwood. I love the idea of Victoria being the head of Torchwood. And most importantly, I love that we get a subtle reference to classic Who that maybe back in the day I didn't realise, but now that I do, I can really see and appreciate this episode a little bit more. And for that reason, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, you beautiful people.